have no clue as to how far you are well versed in drama and the dramatic works. Who taught you drama in the third year and the second year at college?
Yes, in the second year we have Muhammad. I think the lecturer Muhammad al-Abdali.
Who is Muhammad Abdali?
The lecturer.
All right. So, what did he teach you?
I think he talk about or taught us the Faust display.
Okay. Did he give you an introduction to drama?
An introduction to drama. Well, it's a process that the characters in front act in front of the audience by using simple things to reach an idea to the audience.
Okay. So
Yes.
didn't he talk to you about the types of drama and classical drama?
Actually, I didn't remember it.
Okay. What else? What plays did you study?
We have in third year actually I forget it.
ما شاء الله صلوات على محمد.
Yes.
إذا مسرحية ما حافظ يا مسرحية ما أخذ منو يا منو
Yes.
دكتور فاستس شنو؟
أستاذ على بالي والله بس أبدأ الفظها ما أقدر.
جوليوس سيزار.
In the third year, we have the play of Harmless.
Yes, Ham.
بشرفك واحد سهام أنت بشرفك. يوسف.
أستاذ والله أرد الفظها ما أقدر يعني على بالي.
هاملت.
أحداثها كلها حافظها.
عفوا دكتور بس هي السنة الثالثة ضاعت كل شيء ما افتحنا بعده.
All right. So what else? What other things you can tell about drama? Yeah, I know. I'm aware of all that. So what ideas do you have, you personally? What ideas do you have about the theater, about the drama? What things, I mean, when the word drama is mentioned, what comes to your mind?
Yes, it comes a theater and a characters that act some events in front of the audience. And they want to reach some or probably not all of them want to reach something important. For example, when we have here in this drama, in our drama in fourth year, we have Aristotelian drama. They want or they depend on the feelings or to make the students just feel and cry probably or be happy or sad.
Very good. That's a good start. Thank you.
But
yes.
But
Yes, go ahead.
We have he focus on the events to make them just think about the events that happen on the theater.
Very good, Yusuf. Thank you. Very good. That's a very good start for us for this lecture. Yes. Who else? Who would like to tell me anything?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes. Also, in this year we have some connotation that we can call this fourth wall. It's wall that exists on the stage between the characters and the audience, and it's allowed to the audience.
So,
to come
Muhammad Taqi, yes. What type of theater that uses the fourth wall? What do you call this kind of theater?
Yes, Aristotelian.
Yes, very good. Very good.
It's belong. This conception is belong. It's belong to the Aristotle.
Traditional drama. Yes, good. Go ahead.
Traditional, and it's allowed to the audience to come in contact with the actors and speak to them and react with them, and it's natural things.
Again, would you repeat that again, Muhammad, please?
I said that the audience can talk to the actors while during the play,
In which theater the audience is trying to speak with the actors? In what theater?
Yes, a traditional one.
No, this is completely fallacious. I mean, this is a mistaken concept, Muhammad. The first part of your speech was very good, yes. What Yusuf Safi has just mentioned is quite accurate, but the first part of your speech is correct. The last one is totally erroneous. It's wrong. Why? Because in the Aristotelian drama, we don't have any connection between the audience and the actors. This is why we have, Muhammad, we have the fourth wall, which means that there is no connection, all right, between the audience and the actors. Okay, Muhammad?
Okay.
Good, very good, Muhammad. Yes, who else who would like to comment other than Yusuf and Muhammad? What about the girls?
Yes, may I?
Yes, please, Asma.
Yeah, we have also bridge theaters. Bridge
You have what?
A bridge theater.
Brecht, you mean Brecht's theater, right? Okay, good, all right.
He breaks all the rule about the traditional theater, and also he is tried to make the audience is connected with the actors, and also he has some principles, and we have some techniques.
Yes.
One of these techniques is breaking the fourth wall.
Excellent.
The fourth wall means this wall is between the audience and the actors. When the audience is can't reacting with the actor, can't communicate with them. In the traditional, there was just the audience is crying and happy when the event is so happy. So Brecht tried to break this fourth wall, try to make the audience is reacting, is connected with the actors.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And for this year, all right, at least for this play, Mother Courage and Her Children, or Mutter Courage und ihre Kinder in German, all what we need to know is what Asma has just mentioned. We have two types of theater: the traditional, where the audience is not connected with the actors, and we have the epic or the Brechtian theater, where the characters are in interaction with the actors and the audience. All right, this is the first rule you have to know and absorb before we begin. Okay. Capisci? Capisci? Have you understood?
What do you mean by capisci?
This is Italian for have you understood, or everything's okay? Good, good.
It's okay.
All right, good. Now, this is a very good start by Yusuf, Muhammad Taqi, and Asma Nadam. You have mentioned the things I would like to emphasize in this lecture. Now, the question to be asked here is, why do we have a theater that has no connection with the audience, a theater that has a fourth wall to prevent any connection with the audience, and having another kind of theater where there is no wall, where there is, let's say, a direct connection with the audience and the actors? Yes, Benin, yes.
As we know, Bertolt wants his audience to remain objective, not a subjective, and to be an emotional during his plays. So that would make a rational judgment about the political aspect that's going on at that time.
Yes, Benin, what kind of theater is this you're talking about?
Bertolt theater.
Yes, good.
Yes. And to do this, he invented a range of theoretical devices to make his audience separated from what and to be not emotional with the real characters of the characters they have been portrayed.
Very good, Benin. Now, why do you think why does Brecht try to separate the audience from the events on the stage? Why doesn't he let the audience enjoy the play, entertain themselves, and weep when the characters weep, and laugh when the characters laugh, all right, and consume their feelings and leave the theater? This is why they paid money, okay, to be entertained. Why does he bother them?
Yeah, actually, I think to make the audience take a time to thinking about the aspect of the life and not be injured emotional
All right.
what's
Good.
going
Good.
on.
Good, Benin. Now, what makes him do so? Why Brecht, when he woke up one day, asking himself, I have to change the rules. Plays are staged. What instigated him? What motivated him? What drove Brecht?
Yes, may I please?
Please. Yes, Mohammed. Thank you, Benin. Thank you. Yes,
Yes.
Mohammed.
Because Brecht, he don't want from the audience to react with the actors and sympathize with them emotionally. We need from them to take the gist or the importance of the play.
I know that, Mohammed. Yes, very good. Yes,
please,
exactly. But there is a reason. Why did he decide in the first place to change the rules? Plays are staged or played.
Yes, may I?
Thank you, Mohammed. Yes, Yusuf.
Yes, he wants to be different from Aristotelian theater.
Yes.
He wants to be different by.
Why does he want to be different? Why?
May I?
Wait a minute. Yusuf is speaking. Yes, Yusuf.
Yes, because well, I miss it.
يوسف شنو متريق انت لو ما متريق اليوم؟
والله يا استاذ بعد لحد الان.
بعدك حد الان؟ لا عاد روح تريق وتعال. All right, Yusuf, that's okay, no problem. Yes, Adra. Yes, Adra. Please, Adra, come.
Can I participate? I'm from evening study.
Yes, please. What are you? The morning study?
No, evening study.
Did you attend my lectures, Adra?
This is the first time. This is the first time.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think he wanted to change some circumstances at that time, especially political circumstances around him.
Very good, yes. All right. What are these circumstances?
I didn't know actually.
All right. I'll make it
I think the phenomena around him.
Yes. What kind of phenomena? What kind of phenomena? What happened when he wrote the book?
The war. I think the war.
Yes, the war. What war?
The effects of the war.
What war?
That the people of at that time suffer from the effects of the war, and he wants to talk about these effects, and he chose the mother courage because especially women to say how the war is badly affects people.
Yes, Adra, thank you. So far, so good, Adra. But what you said, you mentioned war. What war?
Between Poland and Irish.
Now, don't mix things, okay? We have two wars. Yes. The war of the setting of the play and the real war in the life of Bertolt Brecht. Okay, Adra? When did Brecht write the play? When? When did he finish writing Courage?
Yes, may I?
Yes, Yusuf. Thank you, Adra.
He wrote it in 1939.
Excellent, very good. Now, doesn't this time remind you of anything?
Remind you to the 30 war.
Are you sure? Okay, I'll ask you another question, Yusuf.
Yes.
The 30 Years' War, when was, or when did it occur? When did it happen?
In 1624 till
1618 and ended in 1648.
Okay. Yeah.
It lasted for 30
Alright.
years. Now, Brecht was born when? When was Brecht born?
Born actually.
Yes. In
Yes.
Germany.
No, Yusuf is still speaking. Please let him speak. Yes.
Actually, I do not know.
All right. Brecht was born in, yes. Who else? Thank you, Yusuf.
Yes, in
Most
Germany.
welcome.
May I?
Yes, Firdaus, yes, please.
Yes, he born in Germany in 1898.
1898, which means that he was born in, roughly some 18 or 20 years before the First World War, right?
Yes. Yes. He wants the audience to think, not to feel, so he writes it. He
Right.
writes.
Good. You have raised very good points. Asma, Mohammed Taqi, Adra Kamil, Yusuf, Firdaus. You have raised very good points, which are, a good way to, good points of departure in this class. Very good. Now, I would like to arrange let's say, the chaotic ideas you have in mind, الأفكار الفوضوية عندكم يعني, regarding the play and when it was written. Now, Brecht was born in 1898 and died in 1956. He was born in Germany in a city called Augsburg, A-U-G-S-B-U-R-G, Augsburg. He was born before the breaking out of the two world wars, the first one and the second one. And he is a modern playwright, so to speak. He is a modern playwright, just like you and me, yani. All right? Good?
It's okay.
Yes,
All right. Right. Now, before Brecht, we had the traditional theater or the Aristotelian theater. What is the Aristotelian theater? You know Aristotle. Aristotle is a Greek philosopher. Aristotle was not a playwright. He was not a dramatist. He was a philosopher. Yet he set the rules for idealistic drama, from his own perspective at the time. These rules were adopted by playwrights, including Shakespeare. Okay?
All right.
These are the rules. These are the rules of the classical drama, the classical Greek drama. These are the let's say the basis القاعدة للمسرح العالمي يعني بشكل عام. All right. Now, when we have you have most of the plays fall under the category of classical theater, all right? With the Brecht, things have changed. Why? Because in the Aristotelian drama, we have the audience going to the theater to be entertained, to have fun, to enjoy themselves, all right? Because they are human beings. They go to see human beings, playing certain stories on the stage. So in these stories, has this empathy with them and sympathy with them. So when the characters or the actors cry, the audience cries. When the characters laugh, the audience laughs, all right? And at the end of the play, all these emotions are consumed, تستهلك يعني, and the audience reach a state that Aristotle calls catharsis, tathir. They purify themselves of these emotions of sadness and happiness. All right? Saying that the audience at the end of the day or at the end of the play, so to speak, will not have this, let's say, this ability to change things or have the stamina or the power to change things in their society. So they just leave the stage or they leave the theater quiet, relaxed, right? All right?
Yes, all right.
Good.
Yes, it's right.
Now, with the First World War and Second World War, you know, there is a huge paradigm shift. There is a huge change in the way the world sees things or looks at life. With the First World War, were millions of people, millions of soldiers, you know, and even people in cities were murdered and killed. Now, this belief in God and religion were somehow shaken because people, especially in the Christian world in Europe, believe that God is a merciful God. Now, with the carnage, with the slaughter, with the murder of, you know, millions of people, the faith, people's faith was shaken to its roots. يعني إيمانهم بالدين اهتز من الجذور. This is why, you know, after the World War the First and World War the Second, you know, philosophical schools like existentialism, a school initiated by the French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre and Simone de Beauvoir and Albert Camus, novelists and philosophers, they theorized the non-existence of God. All right. Now, this philosophy left an indelible mark, left its trace, its vestige, its influence on life at large, be it philosophical, social, literary. So writers, especially dramatists, adopted this philosophy, and thus they came up with what we call the absurd theater, or the absurdist theater, or theater of the absurd. The theater of Samuel Beckett, Eugene Ionesco, Artaud, and all these great figures of the absurd theater. Now, this cataclysmic, or this huge event of the two world wars, the first one and the second one, you know, made Brecht think that this, you know, mode of writing is no longer valid. This traditional or Aristotelian mode of writing plays is no longer effective and valid, and the world needs a new theater, a new mode, a new vogue, a new wave of theater. And this is the theater he was trying to create. He thought of the new theater and termed it سماه يعني the epic theater. The epic theater. It has, you know, the epic theater, in fact, is everything that the traditional theater is not. Have you got me? Are you following, guys?
Yes, we are.
Yes. But the last one, the last speech.
Yes.
Could you repeat it, please?
What is that?
The epic?
Yes, I mean, the epic theater is everything that the traditional theater is not. It means it's completely different from the traditional theater. In its approach to life, in the way it tackles events, in the way the play is performed on the stage, everything is different. Now, in order to achieve such a kind of theater, what did Brecht do? He didn't write, you know, in isolation, because he had to be influenced by a certain philosophy and a certain philosopher. What do you think? Who is the philosopher that left an indelible mark on his work, on Brecht's work. What is the philosopher's name? Do you know?
Yes, before Brecht, or
Yes, he was before Brecht. I'm talking about the philosopher who influenced Brecht.
yes, Aristotelius.
No?
Marcus?
Yes, good. Hawra Hamid. Yes, Karl Marx.
Yes, thanks.
Yes, Karl Marx. Now, Brecht tried to dramatize the ideas of this German philosopher, Karl Marx. You need to read a lot about Karl Marx because, you know, Brecht is only dramatizing his ideas. Dramatizing means he changed these philosophical ideas by Marx into drama. And we will see how. All right. So far, so good. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions?
No.
All right. No. If we come to the play itself, because we don't have time, in fact, we need to get the skits under our feet, as they would say. We have to hurry up because, you know, I guess it's next week. Your exam will be next week, right?
Yes, right.
All right, so you need to prepare very well for the exam. We have this play. Do you have the textbooks with you now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. This play.
Sir,
Yes.
do you have any PDF file for the material?
I sent you two PDF files already, I guess, or one PDF file and another presentation, PowerPoint presentation.
Just one, sir, and it focuses on the main aspects only, not the there is no details, I think.
All right. So I would like you to.
That's just an introduction. Sorry, I'm sorry for interrupting.
I would like you to leave everything, you know, try to focus here on this play. You have everything here. You don't have to you know, look up in the dictionary or you know, search in the Google. You have this play. You have this textbook. It has it has the best introduction, in fact. The only, what you need to do is just to read the introduction, the commentary on the play, and you will be in safe hands. Okay, you'll be on the safe side. You don't have to look for other sources. You have it between your hands. So just open the book and read. Okay? You have everything you need. You have a summary for each scene. You have a commentary on each scene. You have the text. You have at the end, you have explanations and notes. So you don't have to go to any other source. If you would like to, you know, search for more sources, that will be for your credit, of course. You will, you know, increase, let's say, your mark and grade. So, in this play, what do we have? We have an introduction. What does the introduction contain here? What does it have? You have a chronology, you know, a history of Brecht, when he was born, and what were the plays he wrote, and we have a biography, an abbreviated form of his life and biography here in this textbook. You have also a summary. You have a summary to the events in the play, in the scenes, I mean. You have the textbook and you have a commentary. You have two columns. You have a dichotomy, two columns that compare the traditional theater or the dramatic theater with the epic theater. So you have almost everything. And all you have to do is to read the commentary. The commentary will be a good choice. You have to read the commentary. Now, Brecht was born before World War the First and lived the two world wars, the first one as a child and the second as a young man and a promising playwright. Brecht is not just any other playwright or dramatist. He is a theoretician. He is a dramaturge, as they say, a dramaturge. فيلسوف مسرحي يعني. All right? As well as a dramatist or a playwright. Are you following, guys?
Yes, we are.
So, with this, bloody two world wars, he thought that we need to change the rules or the rules of the game. We need to change the rules of writing plays and staging plays. So he came in writing Mother Courage. What did he decide? Because he lived in a time of fear, a time of dictatorship. Who was ruling Germany at the time when Brecht wrote the play?
Yes, Hitler.
Exactly. Very good.
Adolf Hitler.
Yes, Adolf Hitler was the ruler, the dictator who ruled Germany and who invaded most of the European countries in the Second World War. Right?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Could you tell us how did he died? Or death?
How did he die?
He died, yes.
Yes, he died a natural death, just like anyone else. He was not killed.
I think they took he death as by poisoning himself.
We are talking about Hitler, not Brecht, right?
Yes, Hitler.
Well, Hitler's death is controversial in a sense, just like any other, let's say dictators,
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, nobody can tell the truth, in fact. But, they say he shot himself, others say he took poison before they arrest him, and so on. Well, it's not a big deal. He died anyway. Yes. So with this time of fear, fear.
مخاوف.
Yes, with this time of fear and horror, by the political authorities of Hitler and the Gestapo. Gestapo. The Gestapo. Haven't you heard of this term before?
I think no, sir.
Well, the Gestapo is the German acronym. You know acronym? You studied acronyms?
Yeah, you mean abbreviation?
Yes, it's a kind of abbreviations, yes. Gestapo stands for the word Geheime Staatspolizei, that is the German for the state's secret police. يعني يشبه بالمخابرات أو الأمن السري. So he was afraid of them, and this is why he wrote the play in a different manner. That is, he didn't write about the war directly. He didn't write about the World War and the Second World directly as a subject, but he chose a distant time and a place, let's say, as a setting for the play. And he wanted to write a play. So he has a message he would like to convey, to transmit to the people. He has a message he would like to convey to the people. He couldn't talk about the wars directly, but he rather chose to, he preferred to choose a setting from history. This is why He chose the 30 Years' War. The 30 Years' War. And the 30 Years' War is a different subject. We have to talk about it first before we go on. What is the 30 Years' War? Who can tell me?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Actually, I didn't. Well, I didn't have a lot of information about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think. But the information what I have, the play is right. 11 scenes, okay, and the events of the play. Continue in 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and through this.
I'm asking you a question about the 30 Years' War. حرب الثلاثين عام. What is this war? Do you know anything about it?
Actually, no.
Okay. So anyone?
Yes,
Anyone
may
else?
I?
Yes, please, Asma. Thank you, Yusuf. Yes.
The 30 Years' War was a conflict primarily fought in Central Europe from 1618 to 1648. Estimates of total military and civilian deaths range from 4.5 to 8 million, mostly from disease or starvation. In some areas of Germany, it has been suggested that up to 60 of the population dead. Population dead.
Yes.
That's what I have about this war.
Yes, Asma, very good. Exactly. The 30 Years' War is a war that happened in Europe in the wake of the Reformation. The war happened in the years 1618 to 1648, 30 years exactly, and ended in the Treaty of Westphalia, as they call it, the Treaty of Westphalia, معاهدة Westphalia, which ended the war. Now, I said the war broke out in the wake of the Reformation, capital R. What is the Reformation? You know the Reformation?
Yes.
Yes. What is the Reformation, Muhammad?
It's a movement that happened in the Europe to change the government, and it has it's happened in many places. For example, and happens in the French, and the leader of it was John Calvin, and in the German it's happened, and the leader of it was Martin Luther.
Yes.
And also it's happened in the England, and the leader of it was 8th Henry, when he was make some kind of demonstration against the church, when he wants a successor of her.
Basically, Muhammad, basically, it is a religious movement.
Yes.
Against who? I mean, when Martin Luther wrote his 95 commandments, let's say, or amendments, against who was he directing them?
Against the popes.
Against the Muhammad?
Popes. البابوات يعني.
Yes, in a sense, yes, the popes definitely, but he was against the Catholic, religion, the Catholic religion.
Yes, because
Why?
they have reprieve of penance.
Yes, very good. Why did he rise? Why did he rise against the Catholic Church? He was a Catholic himself, so why did he rise against them?
which protest Pope's sales a reprieve from penance or indulgence.
Yes. What are these indulgences? What is meant by indulgences?
يعني تحفيزات أو هيك مثلا.
No, Muhammad. Indulgences means سكوك الغفران. What is meant by سكوك الغفران or indulgences? We will know soon.
Yes.
Yes, but my question is, why did he rise against the church, the Catholic Church?
Yes, in order to spare renewal from within the church. يعني شو مثلا نقول ارضي غير نظام الحكم بالكنيسة وهيك مثلا.
Yes, right, Muhammad. Try to speak
Yes.
English. Okay. Yes, good. Yes, because the Catholic Church was. Yes, Yusuf.
Because the Catholic Church and the religious men, I think they use the power or the force against the other or the we have Catholic and the other Protestant people and other people. They was kill them or
No, Yusuf, listen.
control on them.
We have in Christendom, العالم المسيحي, in Christendom, semi-Christendom, capital CHRISTENDOM, Christendom, العالم المسيحي, we had only one religion, that is the Christian faith, and it was patronized or supervised by the Catholic Church, whose leader is the Pope, capital P, البابا يعني.
Yes.
For hundreds of years, the Catholic Church presided ترأست the Christian world and the Christian religion. However, there are two things you need to know about this church. The first one is its antagonism against the government. There was a tension between the government and the church. Do you see what I mean?
Yes, there's a connection between the church and the government. Okay.
There's no connection, Muhammad, Yusuf. There's no connection. I mean, they worked against the government at the time. They had their own, let's say, their own laws. يعني they were state within the state. حكومة داخل الحكومة يعني واضح. The Catholic Church had its establishment, separate from the government. Do you see what I mean? Now, if you are, Yusuf, if you are a priest in the Catholic Church and commit a crime,
yes,
the government will not sentence you, will not make a trial, okay, for you.
Okay.
All right, because the church will do so. The church will be responsible for this trial, and in most cases, you will be acquitted, despite the fact that you have committed a crime.
So when, for example, I do something bad or some crime, the government, when they get in and
no, they won't. The government won't. And even if the government tries to.
أقصد أستاذ شلون يعني شو وقت يعني تتدخل الحكومة.
I got that, Yusuf. I got that. You don't have to speak in Arabic. Okay, I know that. I know what you mean. The government had no power to intervene, تتدخل, in the business of the church. The church was so powerful. The church was so, let's say, influential that nobody could argue things with it. The Pope was the man. The Pope was the one who ruled Europe.
Yes.
Do you see the point? Now, this is one thing. The other thing is that the church was very, very corrupt. Was very corrupt. In that they used to tell people, that for money you can save a good place in heaven. So they sold them indulgences to absolve their guilts. يغفرون ذنوبهم يعني. To absolve their guilts. ABSOLVE. This is one of the things. The other thing is that, you know, have you heard of the term Inquisition, capital I. Inquisition. INQUISION. Inquisition.
Yes, I heard about this.
محاكم التفتيش they call them. محاكم التفتيش. The church had these inquisitions. The church had these inquisitions. Like, for instance, if you, Yusuf, report to the church that you saw Muhammad Taqi, for instance, doing some, let's say, holy, as they say, practices or things that make you suspicious of his act, and think that Muhammad Taqi is doing something heretical, يعني خارج عن الدين أو الملة, all right? Muhammad Taqi will be sentenced to death by the Inquisition. It is not any other death, you know, any ordinary death. It's a special kind of death because it's a brutal kind of death. He will be killed at the stake, as they say, at the stake, or he might be burnt alive. All these, you know, tortures and sufferings that a person who is tried by the Inquisition can face. Do you see the point, Yusuf?
Yes, all right. I got it.
Right. This is why Martin Luther, you know, rose against the Catholic Church. He rose against them and said that you are wrong. You do not represent the Christ on earth. You are corrupt and you have to be changed. واضح? Now, what did this lead to? It led to the fact that some countries, like Poland, sided with the Catholic Church, and others, like Sweden, sided with Martin Luther, the Protestant. Martin Luther came up with Protestantism as a new religion. He came up with Protestantism. This is why some European countries sided and supported and advocated Martin Luther and Protestantism, and the other party, the other countries, sided with the Catholic religion. And with these, I mean, with this polarization, as we call it, هاي القطبية صار قطبين يعني, Protestant countries and Catholic countries. What happened next? They involved in the 30 Years' War. يعني, the reason behind the 30 Years' War was the Protestant religion introduced or initiated by Martin Luther. واضح?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, Brecht saw in this story of the 30 Years' War a good story, though indirect. He saw in it a good story to convey a message to the people of his time of the viciousness of war and the horror of war. So he wrote this play, Mother Courage, and staged it to warn the people in Europe and Scandinavia in particular, الدول الاسكندنافية, from the woes of war, from the slaughter of war, from the carnage, مجازر يعني, and the genocides of war. You know genocides? إبادة جماعية يعني.
Yes.
Yes, genocide.
Genocide.
To kill a lot of people in one time, just like Saddam Hussein did.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Good. Now, what are the techniques that Brecht used in his epic theater in order to make the audience think, make them separated from the action in the play? What were the techniques he used as a playwright?
Yes, may I?
Yes, Benin.
Yes, we have a lot of techniques that Brecht used at this time, like breaking the fourth wall. This is where the wall between the audience and the actors on the stage is breaking. Rather than allowing the audience to sit passively and get lost in the show, the actors will sometimes directly address the audience with a speech, comments, or questions, or that's what we call breaking the fourth wall.
Excellent. Very good. Yes. Good. Who else?
You want me to complete?
Yes, may I?
No, thank you, Benin. Yes, Firdaus. Yes.
Most welcome.
Yes, and he used in his plays song and music and dance to remind the audience they are not watching real life, something to a song and music.
والله ما شاء الله عليكم حضرين صباح يعني خوش قارين. Good. That's very good. Yes. Good. Good, Firdaus. Thank you. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yes, Yusuf.
Yes. He used شو نقول تخلص التطهير.
Yes, purify or
Catharsis.
yes, purify. The word, the term is called catharsis. Yes.
Yes. He wants the catharsis emotion to make the audience
without to purge, P-U-R-G-E, purge. يطهر يعني. Yes, to purge.
To purge the emotions from the audience, and he success to do it.
Who?
Brecht?
No, Brecht didn't want to purge the emotions.
Yes.
On the contrary.
I meant he want to from the audience to do or to watch the play without the purge, and he
without the purge. I mean, yes, exactly. Now think of Brecht as a mind, and think of the traditional dramatists as hearts.
Exactly.
So the traditional dramatists appealed to the emotions, and Brecht appealed to the mind. He wanted the audience to think rather than feel. Okay?
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So there is let's say an umbrella term he used, or a generic term, a general term or a generic term he used, or umbrella term, under which all these devices, come under. What is the term? It's a long, difficult word, perhaps, for you to pronounce.
I remember it, but I could not pronounce it.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Yusuf. Yes, Hawra, Hamid.
Verfremdungseffekt.
Verfremdungseffekt. Verfremdungseffekt. That's a German word meaning alienation effect. Alienation means what? Means a distancing effect.
Yes.
A distancing effect. These devices, under this term, try to make the audience, try to separate the audience from the action on the stage, to make them think. Right? We call it alienation. To alienate, it means to disengage, is to distance, is to move away someone from something. It's disentanglement, detachment, فصل. the audience, to detach the audience from the action on the stage, right?
Right.
It's called Verfremdungseffekt. This is how the Germans pronounce it. Verfremdungseffekt. Fremdung means to change. Effect is effect, the same thing. All right. So, back to the play itself. Mother Courage is what? Is an anti-war or an anti-war play. That is to say, it's a war written to warn people from the evils of war. We call it anti-war or anti-war play. What is the main philosophy behind this play? The main philosophy behind this play is that war is a business, is a continuation of business by other means. يعني الحرب هي شنو؟ تجارة بس بطريقة أخرى، بطريقة القتل والذبح يعني. Okay? War is a continuation of business by other means. He says that, or he believes, he argues, he holds, he contends. هاي كل الكلمات تقدرون تستخدموها when you write. Okay? He believes that war is just another capitalist venture. هي مغامرة رأسمالية for money. It's for money. They tell you, but they don't tell you directly that it's for money. They tell you what? They tell you that we are waging this war. شنو الحرب يعني? Wage, W-A-G-I-N-G. We are waging this war for the sake of patriotism. من أجل الوطن يعني. من أجل الوطن. For the prosperity of the population. For the betterment of lives in a society. See? Have you studied modern poetry or still?
Yeah, we studied this year.
Have you heard of a poet called Wilfred Owen? Wilfred Owen is a war poet, World War poet. It's called Wilfred Owen, W-I-L-F-R-E-D, Wilfred Owen, O-W-E-N. He wrote a poem that is called Dulce e decorum pro patria mori. It is a Latin title. It's a Latin title. Dulce e decorum pro patria mori. That is, it's nice and sweet to die for one's country. من الرائع والمشرف أن تموت في سبيل الوطن. It is a cynical poem, in fact. يعني تهكمية هي القصيدة. In which he mentions all the atrocities, all the tortures of war, or the carnage and killing and murder of the war. And still, he says, this is necessary because it's dulce decorum pro patria mori. It's nice and honorable to die for one's country. Of course, he has a tongue in cheek when he says these words. He doesn't mean them, because he says that this is what happens in the war. People tell you that this is a war for the country, to protect the country, but in fact, it's a war to fill up their pockets with money. Do you see the idea?
Yes.
Brecht is trying to do the same here. Brecht is a Marxist. And why am I keep telling you that he is influenced by Marx? Now, Marx, as a philosopher, attacked the capitalist system and thought that the capitalist system is the source of evil in this world. And I fully concur with him on that. I agree with him on that. And experience proves it, in fact, in the past and in the present. If you just mull it over, as they say, if you just think of the capital system as evil, you can witness many instances, in fact, whether in the past or in the present, Now, part of his job as a Marxist playwright is to show us, to show the audience, to show the world that what are the real motives, what are the ulterior motives, the hidden motives behind wars. Yes, the government tells you that we are waging this war for the country, for our home. But the ulterior motive, الدافع الخفي يعني, the ulterior motive is just to fatten, as they say, to fatten their bellies. You know belly?
Yes.
All right. To make these pot-bellied people or capitalists, grow fatter and fatter with more money and more wealth. He wants to lift the cover from our eyes and make us see for ourselves the real truth behind what we see, what we witness. So in the mass media nowadays, you know mass media? بس mass media.
الإعلام يعني؟
وسائل الإعلام. Yes.
وسائل الإعلام.
ميديا هي جمع ميديوم اللي هو وسيلة. ميديا وسائل. الماس جماهير يعني ماس ميديا يعني وسائل التواصل الجماهيري والاجتماعي. So in the mass media, in the news, if you focus and if you pick on a particular channel, you can deconstruct, تفكك يعني, you can deconstruct the discourse of this channel, if you are well aware of things, and see the approach of the channel. Where does it try to take you? They are trying to influence the way you think. They try to influence your mindset.
Yes.
يعني يحاولون يفرمتوك يعني وينصبوك من جديد. All right? As a spectator, as audience. But do they tell the truth? Yes.
Yes.
They tell you.
As in Saddam Hussein period, he used one or two channels.
No, well, Yusuf, it's not only during Saddam Hussein's period, and almost in every time you have such a let's say bigoted discourse. هذا الخطاب يعني المتعصب والمتشنج وغيره whatever يعني.
Yes.
Like for instance, if you watch العربية الحدث channel, for instance.
Yes.
You will immediately realize that they are anti-Iran channel, right? Now, if you watch Al Manar channel, you will immediately realize that it is anti-Saudi channel, and so on. So there is no professional, let's say, it is professional, in fact, but it's not unbiased. Yes,
neutral.
Unbiased. يعني هم متحيزين دائما إلى جهة معينة. See the point?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean. As a government channel, you see, they have certain notions they would like to ingrain in you. يثبتوها بك يعني. خلوها بدماغك يعني. Right? They try to plant certain ideas in you. But it's your job, if you are educated, if you are well or educated enough, you will be safe. You will be immune, muhassan. You will be immune from such influences. You know that these people have certain goal, and these people or the other guys also have certain goals. So don't make yourself, in the midst or in the middle of such, colliding, متصارع أو متصادم, colliding discourses. Now, Brecht is doing this. Brecht is telling us what is going on behind the curtains, what is going on, à huis clos, as they say, خلف الكواليس. He tells you what's happening in reality, Now, if you open your textbook, he mentions an incident. Where is that? Yes. It's in the commentary in the first page. If you have your books with you, in the first page of the commentary, the last 5 lines in the page. Have you got that?
Yes. Yes.
Are you sure? In this
Yes,
text.
from the link between.
Exactly. Very good. The link between war and capitalism was hammered home. Hammered home means discussed in a simple way. Hammered home in many obvious ways. In Piscator's production, Piscator is هذا مسرحي أيضا إروين Piscator. In Piscator's production يعني تعرفون شنو؟
إنتاج.
Produce something. Touch.
Produce something.
Yes, right.
أعمال الفنية الإنتاج.
Right, exactly, Benin, yes. Production, production يعني Hamlet is produced by many people. يعني when we say Hamlet, I tell you what production, what year. لأن هو يمثلوها من هاملت. من اللي انتجها؟ هو الانتاج مالته، اوكي واضح؟ سي هذا بيسكاتور عنده مسرح، يعني هو مسرحي اسمه إيروين بيسكاتور. In Piscator's production المسرحية اللي اسمها Rasputin, the Romanovs, the war and the people which rose against them. This is the title of a play. For example, he says there was a scene بيها مشهد هذا يعني to explain the real motives behind wars. He gives this example. He says in this play there is a scene in which a British, a French and a German tycoon. You know tycoon? A wealthy person. Tycoon, a wealthy person, a very rich person, capitalist يعني. When they successfully declaimed means recited. يقولون يعني يتكلمون بلغة يعني عالية يعني. When they declaimed their or his patriotic faith, إيمان الوطني, in his country's cause, بقضية وطنه يعني. While projections, see, he speaks, but the act or the reality is exactly the opposite. He says that we are doing this for the sake of our country's cause, and at the same time, what happens? Simultaneously, at the same time, while projections, شنو projections?
تقديرات أو هيك شيء؟
No. If you have المسرح الممثلين ويوقفون على المسرح اللي ظهر الممثلين، هذا يسموه شنو؟ هذا الوول، هذا ظهر الممثلين، مو
الستار يسمونه.
مو ستار، لا you have the actors on stage. I'm talking about what is behind the actors. لازم اكو في الجدار. نعم.
Background.
هي exactly اسمها الباك thank you very much اسمها. Yes, exactly. This is background, this wall or the background. هذا مهم. اكو عليه projections كأنما أضوية يعني مثل السينما. Projections of the belching chimneys. Belching chimneys المداخن اللي تنفث الدخان of their arms factories, مصانع الأسلحة اللي سووها, on a screen behind them, revealed the real interest, listen, the real interest in the war which they had in common. Do you see the point? يعني هم واقفين على المسرح, the French, the German tycoons, and speak about the loyalty and the service of their homeland and country. And at the same time, what do we see? We see these images on the wall, on the background, the projections of their, arms factories, مصانع الأسلحة مالتهم, What does this mean? It means they are hypocrites. منافقين يعني. It means that they don't mean what they say. Right, Isma?
Yes.
It means that they are lying to the people. They are lying to the people. And Brecht here is trying to show us these lies. It's as simple as that. He is trying to show us these lies. Right? And make us go out of this theatrical experience and change this society and change the world, exactly as Karl Marx said. He said that the philosophers have interpreted the world. لقد قام الفلاسفة بتأويل العالم وتفسير العالم, and it's time to change it, and it's time to change the world. This is what Brecht is trying to do. I think so far so good. Let's go to the first scene of the play and see what do we have in the play, and try to read the commentary, please, because it has all the things you need to understand fully the play, Mother Courage. So, in scene 1, can you, do you have your books? Please open your books on scene 1. All right. In scene 1, where it begins as Spring 1624. Have you got that page?
Yes.
1624, Spring 1624, the Swedish commander-in-chief, Count Oxenstierna, is raising troops in Dalecarlia for the Polish campaign. The canteen woman, Anna Fearling, known under the name of Mother Courage, loses one son. Now, these 3 or 4 lines, we will get accustomed to them. We will have them before each scene, all right? We will have them almost before each scene. What do you call these 3 or 4 lines before each scene? Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I think the thing. The thing. You hear me?
Yes, Firdaus, what do you call them, please?
Title on sitting.
Title?
Yes, sitting. Before the scene.
No. Yes, Benin? Thank you.
The summary?
Yes, it's a summary. It's a summary. Now, this summary is another alienation effect. This is another device. This is another alienation effect. Because if you have a play, you have one actor moving on the stage carrying a placard, لوحة خشبية يعني, لوحة خشبية, telling us the events of the scene before it begins, which is, if you look at it, you'll find it very silly, right? Why do they tell us the events of the scene before it begins? Because we will definitely see the scene and watch it over for ourselves. Why do they tell us the events? This is an alienation effect, and we call it a titularium or a summary. A titularium or a summary. Now, because he wants us to focus on what?
To not make us affect emotionally about the events, to think in our mind.
To be immune from being affected.
told us about وتحدثنا عن
يوسف تنمت يوسف راح تنام شنو؟
Yes, not me.
لا واحد نام.
Sorry, I let the microphone on.
Yes.
I forgot it.
شنو محمد ست من احسان شنو؟
والله قاعد نص راحيات.
وصل على محمد شنو السالفه؟
Yes. He wants to reach the main idea that he want to from the audience.
Yusuf, I see that you have a lack of using the exact words. When يعني توصل convey يعني يرسل رسالة أو to transmit a message. All right, Yusuf?
Yes.
All right. So, in these 3 or 4 lines, we have a summary of the scene so that the audience will focus on the message conveyed in the scene and not become involved in the action or the emotions engendered by the action of the characters. All right, very good. So what do you have in the summary? We have the time, which is 1624, which means that the events of the scene begin after how many years of the beginning of the war? How many years?
2 years, maybe?
No, 4 years. Or 6 years? No, it's 6 years, right? It's 6 years because the war begins 1618, right? And this 1624, which means 6 years, after 6 years of the war, right? And it begins during the Polish truce or armistice, يعني الهدنة، فترة هدنة يعني هدنة بين الطرفين. All right? And it tells us also that the canteen woman, Anna Fairling اللي هي نفسها Mother Courage, she loses one son. She loses one son. All the events, this is all the what will happen in the scene. And the scene begins like this. Country road near a town, a sergeant and a recruiter stand shivering. A sergeant, you know sergeant?
Yes.
It's a military rank, low military rank, and a recruiter, someone who is in charge of enlisting soldiers or conscripting soldiers. يجند يعني المجند يجند الجنود يعني. They stand shivering, which means that the time is winter, or it's and you have the recruiter speaking.
Yes.
Can you read, Benin?
Recruiter,
please?
How can you master a unit in a black like this? I have been thinking about suicide, Sergeant. Here I am, got to find our commander for campaigns before the 12th of the month. And people around here are so nasty. I can't sleep night. Suppose I get hold of some bloke and shut my eye to his pigeon chest. And
pigeon
chest. And versus veins. I get him
varicose
veins. I got him a proper drink. He signs on the line. I am just settling up. He goes for a pass. I follow him to the door because I smell a rat. Bob's your uncle. He has off like a flea with the ache. No notion.
With the itch.
No notion of words of honor, loyalty, faith, sense of the duty. This place has shattered my confidence in the human race. Sergeant.
رايس يعني تمن ومرقة مال
البشري. Yes.
Race. All right. But you have شعب طلاب C?
No, we are B. B section.
B?
Yes.
Section B اللي ما أخذتكم أبد مو؟
Yes, just a little from the introduction.
All right. وهاي أول محاضرتكم يعني ماشي. Section B. All right. اللي هي زين. This is number 1. All right. Now, first, if you'd like to understand the text here of the speech of the recruiter, you have to look up all the difficult words in the text. So what are the difficult words in the text? How can you muster? The word muster, what's the meaning of muster?
Collects.
Control.
Control, yes.
A place like this, a unit in a place like this. All right. I've been thinking about suicide. Suicide, you know suicide, to kill oneself, yes. Sergeant. Here am I. I have to find our leader, our commander, 4 companies, means 4 groups of soldiers before the 12th of the month, all right? And people around here are so dirty, so filthy, so nasty, I cannot sleep nights. Suppose I catch of some bloke, I catch a guy and look over, shut my eye, look over يعني اتجاهل يعني اغض النظر يعني to his pigeon chest. Pigeon. You know pigeon? Pigeon is the bird. حمامة.
means silly.
شايفين صدر الحمامة شلون منتفخ ومرتفع؟
Yes.
صدر الحمامة دليل على انه من نقول واحد عنده pigeon chest معناها صدره مرتفع، معناها healthy، معناها athletic، رياضي. تمام. and varicose veins والأوردة شبيهة المتورمة دليل على انه هو رياضي يعني. شايفين الرياضيين مو الأوردة مالهم منتفخة يعني معناها healthy. هذا فشي ميتافور لانه healthy person. pigeon chest and varicose veins. He says I get him proper drunk, I make him drunk, all right, or become drunk, and he signs on the line, all right, because he would like to recruit him, he would like to enlist him as a soldier. يجنده يعني طوعه. I'm just settling up, I'm about to finish the process. He goes for a piss. He asks me to take a leave. He wants to make a piss. He goes to the toilet يعني, if there were any. He says I follow him because I don't trust him. I follow him to the door because I smell a rat. I don't trust him. Bob's your uncle. هذا idiom في المصطلح. Bob's your uncle معناه you know the rest. تعرف الباقي يعني. He is off like a flea with the itch. He runs away like someone who has fleas on his body, itching. Okay, another metaphor also. No notion of word of honor. ما عندهم مفهوم للشرف يعني. Loyalty, faith, sense of. Do you see the diction? All these words I told you about. Because he would like to justify the recruitment of the soldiers, and he is taking them. He is driving them to death. He is driving them to death. The recruiter wants money from them by enlisting them, all right? According to the number of the soldiers he takes to the battle. If suppose that he enlists 10 people, and each one they pay for him 5 florins. Florin هذه العملة القديمة قبل at a time. 5 florins, then he will get 50 florins for them. This is the ulterior motive, and this is the true reason that Brecht wants us to see. He says he is not taking them because they have no honor, no loyalty and faith. He wants money. It's as simple as that. But he uses this word, they have no notion of word of honor, loyalty, faith, sense of duty. This place has shattered my confidence in the human race. I don't believe anymore in the human race, Sergeant. These people are very bad because they don't want to die. شايفين ايش منطقة تبلة؟ يعني هو ماخذهم للموت للقتل. يقول ما عندهم شرف ما عندهم اخلاق. All right? وهو مستفيد من عندهم فلوس اللي ياخذ. This is the truth that Brecht is trying to tell us. All right? So I would like you to read the scene 1 and try to finish reading it, and I think we should have another class when we have time. يعني نحضر الأسبوع الجاي نلحق مو نسوي محاضرة.
Yes.
تمام. All right. Next week we will have another long class with you, so that we will emphasize the points for this class, and also complete reading the scene 1 to prepare you for the exam. Okay? Do you have any questions?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. Just want. You said before that we have a PDF. You posted a PDF, right?
Yes, I sent you a PDF file, right?
So we will be ready, inshallah.
Inshallah, Habib, inshallah, Yusuf. By the way, I would like to tell you something. I'm so pleased with you. At least you are the section that has the most participants in the other sections. Today I have Barakat with me. I don't know if she's listening to the class. Barakat is also very active in the other classes. Thank you for attending the lecture, Barakat, and I hope you enjoyed it and you benefit from it. All right. This is the simplest approach I can. This is the simplest approach I can adopt for the classes. This is not the way I run my drama classes, but I'm trying to be as simple as possible, you know, so that you can understand the words that are coming from my mouth.
Yes, sorry, sir. Can we get some explanation about every scene or every quotation?
You have everything in the textbook. Everything, Muhammad. You have everything in the textbook. You don't need any other explanations, because this textbook is ideal. It is ideal for the study. You have at the end of the Muhammad, at the end of the text. At the end of the text, you have notes. Right? You have notes. At the end. At the end you have notes on each scene, and they are very, very important notes, because they tell you exactly what happens in the scene. All right, terms that you don't know are explained. Okay, Ahmed?
Oh, okay.
All right. In case you have nothing, I have to leave. Thank you very much, guys.
Sorry for interruption, but about commentary, you say that we have commentary before every scene.
Rafet, if you open the book, just try hard. that يعني مو لاعب كمال اسلام خاف صعب عليك تفتح الصفحه اجي اشيل لك الصفحه يعني. اوكي محمد رافت عيني. شوف, if you open the book, you have this map, خريطة على اليسار. You have plot, you have a summary of each scene, all right? You have a summary of all the scenes here, the 12 scenes of the play. Then after that, you have a commentary, which is very important. And after the commentary, you have the text itself. And after the text, at the end, you have the notes that explain almost difficult words and expressions in the play. All right. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. شكرا. Thank you very much.
Sir.
Yes, Adra.
Do you allow me to attend the lecture at the next week?
Well, if you'd like to, you're welcome, Adra.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed talking to you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.